Welcome uh, to another Good Friday on the pop-up, aka another episode of All My Friends Are Dope. First off, I just want to thank y'all for being here, and I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, We Rise Wines. And if you haven't been down there yet, you need to go. It's a place where I like to go co-work out of, flip open my laptop, and have a glass of non-alcoholic wine, right? Also, you know, the service is amazing. Jamila's amazing, and it's Black-owned, so you guys just need to go down there and support, all right? With that said, man, we are here today with my guys, Cesar and Roger of the Mediums Collective, right? I want to make sure I did them justice, so I wrote something out.
Ooh, okay.
All right. This week, we are joined by Cesar and Roger of the Mediums Collective, a Seattle-based clothing brand and creative studio built on the belief that fashion is more than what you wear. It's a platform for community, storytelling, and collaboration. What began as a clothing brand has evolved into a creative ecosystem featuring custom cut and sew production, a media studio, runway presentations, and space where artists, entrepreneurs, and creatives can connect, create, and build together. Did that do y'all justice?
Man, I couldn't say it any better, bro. I might need that audio.
Get the clip out. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, that was fire, man. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate
you.
y'all, man. I absolutely appreciate what y'all do for your community, what you guys do for the whole creative ecosystem, especially on Capitol Hill, what on the blog, Forever Safe Spaces. You guys are outside, and I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, come on. We have to.
Man, so first off, tell me a little bit about yourselves. Give a little introduction. I'll start with you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, for those who don't know, my name is Roger. I'm the founder, brand director, and designer of Mediums Collective. We're a local brand, local streetwear. We've been designing for over 10 years now. And so, we've been doing it for a little minute, and we've had a shop for a little bit over 3 years. And so, we do what we do, and I do it with my brother.
Yes, sir. Let them know who you are, Cece.
Yeah. Well, first, before I get into the intro, man, I just got to say it's a pleasure and honor being here. It's always nice getting the invite back. And, I always say to Raj, thank you for the words, man. Honestly, these things, they're for us, because we get to go back and really reminisce on the work that we're doing. When you do this stuff, you kind of hustle every day, and it's sometimes a little hard for people like us to really sit back and think about the stuff that we've done. So to hear it from somebody else, it's really meaningful, man. So first and foremost, I just want to say thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys, man.
C's, man. They call me C's. Full name Cesar. Just to chime on what Roger says. Brand director, co-founder at Mediums. And yeah, man, just happy and grateful to be here.
Man, I'm grateful for y'all. So let's see. Let's hop into this first question.
Let's run it.
Let's see. For someone who has never heard of Mediums Collective, what is it, despite those wonderful words, because it always sounds better coming from you guys, Collective, what is it, and why did you decide to build it?
Yeah. Everyone's always asking, what does Mediums represent? What does Mediums mean? They're like, is it the size? Is it the spiritual thing? And really, it's for us, it was about the creative community, right? Just about creativity. A medium is a tool of expression. And so for us, we wanted to build a company and a brand that focused on creativity, art, And for us, we use the business and the brand and the merchandise as the medium to be able to express how we feel about, the world. And so, for those that wouldn't know, Mediums is a clothing brand. We're a designer brand. All the designs are all original, one of a kind, based on our own experiences. But it's also a collective, right? And that's why we added the collective to the name, because we, it's a extension and a representation of who we are, but also our community, what we represent, from the artistic standpoint and from the cultural standpoint. And so, we decided to name the brand Mediums Collective, and that's the 2 feet that we stand on.
Yeah, do that.
Shoot, I mean, family owned, brotherly owned. For those of you who might be hearing about us the first time, Roger and I, we're actually blood related. We're brothers.
That blew my mind the first time
So
I got that.
it's a family owned. It's a lot easier than what you think once you figure it out. Working with family. But we're also Mexican. A lot of people think we're born and raised in L.A., but no, we're actually, our roots is back in Mexico. Been here for 25 years, so you see it a lot in the way we express ourselves in our clothing, with the colors, with the styles, because the Pacific Northwest is also a big part of our life now. It's our second home. So
Was your guys' journey straight from Mexico up to like Seattle, or did you have a couple stops in between?
No, literally, that's straight from Mexico here.
Seattle's home. We were born in Puebla, so we're Puebla, Mexico. We were born over there, and then we migrated over here when we were like about 8, 9,
something like that.
And so Seattle became home. And you see it a lot in our brand, right? Like you see a lot of the cultural roots for us being Mexican and coming from Mexico and experiencing the motherland. But you see a lot of Pacific Northwest inspiration, right? This is home as well. We grew up here, right? We grew up in the South End, right? And so you see a lot of the earthy tones, Pacific Northwest vibes in our merchandise as well. So I feel like our brand and our design style and just our vibe is a blend of both, right? So
I mean, it definitely stands out, especially like the way you guys present yourselves, right? The way you guys do your marketing, and just when people have it on. Like if I'm walking through an art walk, I definitely see your brand, right?
Yeah.
Even if you make a small logo that says Medium, right? Your style it's impeccable, right?
Thank you.
I got to give it to Mom on that one. Mom and Dad, they raised us to stand out. Mom, she from a young age, she's been an entrepreneur. She's always been very individualistic. So I think some of that came onto us, especially when we came in here. I still remember the first year, we didn't speak any English, and a lot of the people that migrate here are usually, they tell you to tone it down, because of all the immigration policies and whatnot. But Mom was the other way.
Yeah.
She said, no, you need to stand out. You need to do what you got to do. Don't be scared of, whatever the world's telling you to do. You got to stand out. So you see it for sure on the pop-ups. We're like standing tall. We got the big banners, right? The colors and stuff.
You see it in the brand,
Yeah. So Mom's the real hustler of the
Mom
family.
and Dad,
100%.
Mom and Dad for sure.
That's so fire, man. That's tight, because a lot of people don't realize how much they are learning from their parents as they're growing up.
Right.
But then you get to the age and like, oh my God,
100%.
my mama was filthy. She had taught me this,
Come on,
that, right? So she taught you how to hustle and design, basically, right? Because of her fashion sense.
Right, exactly. So then that's why we rep Familia. We gotta rep it, because that's where the inspiration comes from. That's we as Mexicans culturally, we're very family based, family ties. So Familia is something that you see on the brand all around.
Oh, absolutely, and you can feel it when you're in the space too, right?
Facts.
I've never not felt welcome. Walking by, coming in, rolling by. Matter of fact, I get stopped. All right, one more question, and we're going to go into the next break. All right. Was there a moment when you realized this could be something bigger than just making clothes?
I got an example.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it 10 seconds, real quick, and I know he's probably got a better story. But what was it? When was it when we were down east? And it's not even a flex, but it's like real stats. We made over 31K under 24 hours.
Yo.
Nice.
And that was.
And when you say out east, what do you mean?
It was a big event.
It was at the Gorge.
That's how we started.
So
that's
like
kind of like the roots
Eastern
of how
Washington.
we started the brand. We started doing a lot of pop-ups. I mean, we still do, which is why you still see us on the streets, because that's how we came up.
Yeah.
So we went to Eastern Washington, the Gorge, right? So it's a big place. You get over 70K people on one day. So we used to do that, and on one of those events, we just got really smart or dumb. I don't even know how to classify, honestly, because we invested so much money in inventory. I mean, we were ready for it. We went over and we were stocked up, and thank God, under 24 hours, the product that we had to offer basically flew over our shelves. And that for me was like a moment where I was like, oh, this thing could really be scalable. It's more than just, it's resonating with in a very universal way, right? Because I was looking at the customer base. It was boy, girl, tall, skinny, you name it. I mean, it was very universal. So that was kind of like the it moment for me.
Dope.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hell of a moment.
It's gotta be.
That was a cool moment. And definitely that was a top, right? Like, obviously, you want to sell your inventory, you want to sell the merch, right? And so to us, that was a reinforcement of, hey, people vibe with the merchandise, people vibe with the clothes, people vibe with the brand. And so for us, it was like, big stepping stone in terms of, let's keep it going, let's keep it rocking. C's was like, keep on designing, bro, like keep on pumping designs. And so, I think from there we took it and elevated it, right?
And it's funny how that happened, honestly, because we were actually going through some rocky stuff. We're like, hey, what do we do? How do we go from here? Obviously being young in the business, you're not very business minded, right? So like, cash flow issues and stuff like that. So we're kind of going through like a rocky patch, but this was kind of like, I took it as a sign, like, you gotta keep going. So that's the most memorable experience that I have. That's really stuck with me.
It's a dope experience. Yeah. Number one, the Gorge is a place most people only associate with major pop stars, right? Because people go there for concerts. Summer Jam was there for years and stuff, right? So I have a major moment there and actually walk away with some money. You guys won. I usually walk away.
And our mom was there too, so that was also, our mom was literally hustling with us right there.
Right.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever bring back those designs?
We did we ran them for a while. We ran them pretty much for the first
Put them on my skin.
3-4 years of
they're right here
of the brand.
I don't know where the camera's at. There it is.
There.
Yeah. Yeah. Forever.
But then as we move on and as you keep having new experiences, you bring in new designs, right? So like I said, our design is kind of our art and the way we channel like our life experience, and so different stages to us felt like different type of designs, different styles, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, that's filthy, man. With that said, man, I know you guys got some stuff dropping, which I almost feel like you guys drop something every other day. But you guys be working hard. But we're about to go to a break, right? And when we come back, we'll have much more from the Mediums Collective. Yeah. There you go.
Welcome to Hell's Kitchen, Broadway's hit musical from Alicia Keys.
Every song, If I Ain't Got You, Empire State of Mind, it's all in the show.
Meet Allie, a 17-year-old girl full of fire. Meet the musical mentor who changes her life and her family, who lifts her up. With exhilarating choreography, Hell's Kitchen is all about finding yourself, your purpose, and the people who inspire you. Hell's Kitchen, playing the Paramount Theater July 21st through 26th.
This summer, Metro connects the world.
Real ones show up for each other. In the barbershop, at home, in the group chat, we check in. Not just you good, but really good.
Because the health of your friends and family matter, and they need you to check in. Healthy men keep each other safe.
And real ones check in on the ones we love. Because when we tap in, we stay healthy together.
Man, today we back in the streets, man. This is about legacy, it's about community, you know what I mean? And really what we stand for. You know, we've been doing this for almost a decade now, and recently we got a store, right? And what happens when you start getting a store, right? You start building, but you start getting really comfortable about your location, right? So this was for us about our legacy, about how we came up, and about the people that supported us today.
June 14th, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of everything that's happening in the world, we wanted to come out, show our art, doing what we do, and protest in our own way, but creatively and through art. It's a passion for fashion, it's a passion for storytelling. You know what I mean? We love to communicate our experiences, how we feel about the world, how we feel about our community, and we like to express it through fashion. That's a way to do what we do and tell at least a little bit about us.
This year was an elevation, you know? We've been doing this for 10 years. We've been playing with different features, different ways how to, you know, drape fabrics. And this year was really a revelation for us of how can we push style and culture and see how far we can go with it.
It's important that our community shows up for the Mexican community. Well, for one, me personally, I'm gonna show up for my brothers, Roger and Cesar, the owners of Mediums Collective, because when everybody turned their back on me, they believed in me. I'm from here, I'm born and raised here. But for some reason, when I moved back here, everybody felt like I had to prove it to them and why they should support me and what I've always done, what my family has done for years and centuries. Effortlessly, Roger and Cesar seen me and believed in me right away. So I'm gonna show up for them and the Mexican community because they showed nothing but love and support for me. Culturally, we're all impacted. We're all one. So I think that we need to show up as a united front and it be for real, because that's what's going on right now and what you see representing the whole collection.
Ride the streets together. We wanted to just be supportive and encouraging to each other. I'm here with Street Queens, and Mediums Collective asked us to collaborate with them to bring the cars out as part of the fashion show. What brought us together is the representation of male-dominated in the classic car community. We're a women-represented crew or group community.
We're people at the end of the day, you feel me? And the first thing we do is connection, it's love, man. And what better place to do it when we come and congregate as a community, man. So first and foremost, it's just that connection, it's that human to human. Especially in the world, I feel like we're separating a little bit more and more, right? For the younger generation. So I think this is important because, you know, human connection.
There's a lot of frustration in the world. And a lot of communities getting attacked. My community is getting attacked. The whole community out here is getting attacked, man. So it's good for us to come out, be united, you know what I'm saying? Inspire change. There's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of destruction going on, but I think it's important for us to utilize our voice, utilize art to inspire change, you feel me, and to motivate. Being able to do this in my community is why we're in this today protesting, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's about unity, it's about community, it's about uplifting each other.
Man, it first starts with loving yourself, man. That's really it, you know what I mean? And I say it from personal experience. When you love yourself, that loving and kind awareness expresses onto others. And I feel like that's what the world needs, man.
Live their truth and be on purpose doing that. Everybody might back you in a corner, but know and believe in yourself that what you're doing is right and you have pure intentions, and whoever's with you will show you. And that's enough, you're enough.
Man, welcome back to All My Friends Are Dope. We are here with Roger and Cesar, Mediums Collective, man, and we just watched a video that was shot a year ago.
Yeah.
By Paul Sanders at a fashion show you guys did on the block, or at OTB, right?
Yeah, yep.
Looking at that and thinking about now, how much have you evolved from that moment to where you are now?
I mean, it's cool seeing it back, right? Like, this was really just last year, but it felt like yesterday. And so, but it also feels like it was ages ago. So it's dope seeing it back. As you see, you know, we're proud of our heritage, we're proud of our culture, and we raise the Mexican flag whenever we can, you know, and, you know, this was happening at an important time for our immigrant and our own Mexican communities. And so, you know, doing that show at that day in the street in Capitol Hill was, you know, to me was super dope and iconic. and it's cool to kind of see it and see where we're at today, right? Like, you know, the growth and the elevation, not only on the fashion end, but on the community aspect of things. But, you know, from last year, 2 years ago, you know, you see us, man, we Mexican and we proud, right?
Man, absolutely, absolutely. Anything you got to say about it?
Yeah, one of the coolest things as I was looking back is reminding all the people that really helped this, you know, put together. And one of the themes that I remember was that there was a lot of female energy in this thing. You know, there was, you know, obviously you got the fashion, you got the platform, right? Photographer, stylist. There's so many moving parts. But, you know, you saw Shioni there come on the screen. You know, we had our homegirl Zana that was also covering the media. Shout out to them. A lot of our volunteers, right, were female based. And then, of course, you know, Julie C and Carolyn and the whole OTB squad that made that place really safe. For people that didn't know, on July 14th, there was actually a what was the name of that rally that was going out? No Kings Day?
The No Kings protest.
Just literally a block next to us. And a lot of people dropped out of our event because of that, and for good reason, right? I mean, not a lot of people were feeling safe. You know, obviously, Roger and I decided to keep going because we knew the people that were working and our partners were going to keep us safe. So, again, just shout out to everybody who stuck through us on that and made it a very memorable experience for us.
I'm going to veer off for 2 seconds, right? Because he said, one, feminine energy is always needed, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is one of those things. If you have too much masculine energy at an event, you have a fight, right? The shooting, you know. But this aspect of safety in the community, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like anything has changed from then to now in the terms of safety, right, within the community, or are we still got to fight more? Because, you know, messaging goes down after so long, right? You know, where do you feel like we're at now with that?
I mean, you know, I think it's still happening. Obviously, with the World Cup, everyone's, I wouldn't say distracted, but obviously our attention's somewhere else, right? And obviously we try to look at the good things of our community.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, it's still happening in our community, right? There's still a lot of it happening, you know, behind our doors, or, you know what I'm saying, or around our community. And so, you know, I wouldn't say necessarily safe. I think people are more aware of it now, and we're a little bit more educated now, right? Like when it was happening last year, everything was so new, and so we were like trying to soak in information. How do we react? How do we create things? How do we move, right? Now, this year compared to last year, you know, personally, I feel a little bit more educated in terms of how to maneuver in situations like that, right? Like how to, you know, what to do if the situation arises, right? And obviously with dope key collaborators and partners and community members, we're able to move a little bit more strategically and smart than like last year when we were just reactive, right? And so to me, it's kind of, like I said, I don't think it's gotten safer. I think we've just gotten smarter.
That's always good.
Yeah.
That's dope. Let's see, man. So let's get out of there. That was just a real quick question I had because, 100%. You know.
No, it's important.
We live in a society where we always have these dual realities and people don't recognize dual realities, right? And as a black man, I know that I can live a whole life, right, that seems normal, but when I'm walking home at night, I have to switch my set of rules in my brain, right? Because there's other things happening and people don't understand that that's what it's like for y'all, right? You know, and that's what it's like for any minority or person of color, right? And if we let the messaging go down or if we don't speak up about it, right, and we don't share platforms and tell people that, look, this is still a safety issue, keep educating yourself, right?
100%.
You know, then what's the point? We at least got to big up our people and keep them smart. I love that we're more educated, right? It's a great answer. Great answer.
True, man. You know, all we can do is learn and soak up knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, act based on what we know. So,
Be better.
Yeah. All right, let's see, man. So let's just hop out of that and let's get right into this new collection, right?
Love it, man.
All right, Mr. Director. Also, we got Big O directing today, which is fire, right?
Hey, come on, man. Shout out to Big O.
Shouts out to Big O. Thank you, brother. All right, so I'm going to ask you to tell me about your latest collection and what's the story you're trying to tell. And can you put up that overlay as the answer?
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, as you see in the video, you know, like this new line is obviously representing Mexico, right? As we've talked throughout this whole interview.
Yeah.
You know, our culture and where we're from and who we are is a huge part of our brand, right? So we just dropped a new Mexico jersey, obviously soccer inspired, FIFA inspired, right? The World Cup is here in Seattle. What a crazy time to be in, right? It's here in our home. And so, you know, we grew up playing soccer. And so we wanted to create something that not only represented our culture or not only represent like soccer and FIFA and just kind of catch a wave, but really more represent our culture, like where we're from, like how we grew up, because we grew up actually playing soccer, and create like a dope iconic piece that can be a blend of that, right?
Yeah.
And so what you see is what my brother's wearing right now is our new Mexico knitted jersey. You know, it has the Aztec eagle in the front,
That's
you know,
filthy.
with the Mexico wordplay. If you see closely, the M and the C is the medium's collective typography, and so I used a lot of subtleness to it. You got the Aztec pattern around your neck and your arms, and then in the back of the jersey has raza, you know, and raza is a word that we use kind of like brotherhood, like brother, right? And so the jersey was a representation of like you know, as we talked about last year and everything that's going on in our Mexican community, right? There was a lot of things happening in the world where, you know, it was trying to divide our community. And so, you know, this piece is a representation of, like we're still together and we still obviously, you know, soccer and football is more than just a sport. It's something that we enjoy, something that culturally does bring us together. And so we just wanted to drop a piece that kind of represented all that. And this is what you get.
Yeah, that's heat. And it's a whole short set too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's a whole set. You
Yeah.
know? So if you want to go play ball, you want to go play soccer, you know, you can run it.
Or go stunt at, you know, any fashion show, honestly. I mean, you know, you put the right thing together. This is more than just you know, it's very universal for sure.
Yeah, it's a fit for sure. I wish I hadn't need one of those for World Cup.
But you know, it's crazy. It's actually, you know, based on our production and just our design, you know, and when the inspiration actually came.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like we're doing the pre-orders right now. Unfortunately, I keep telling everyone they're actually coming once Mexico takes the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know, so they're coming on July 20th. And we unfortunately didn't have them for the World Cup, but you know, we're Mexican every day, right?
Yeah.
We celebrate our culture every day. And so this is a jersey that you can wear something past, you know, the World Cup and FIFA. This is something that you wear every day, right? So,
I got a pair of Vans for it.
What was that?
I got a pair of Vans for that.
So there you go. And it's something you can dress up and wear casually, and it's something that you can dress up and have like some nice slacks and some nice black pants with some loafers, right? So it's a nice versatile. That's why we made it a button up. So it's a versatile piece that you can rock for different occasions, from a casual standpoint to a more like nice little high end look.
Yeah, that's heat. That's heat.
Thank you.
Let's see. There's another video in there with sound. Can you play that real quick? All right, we are back with the Mediums Collective, Roger and Cesar, right? So tell me, we just watched that, right? And I think it's beautiful, right? But I absolutely, just to be honest, have no idea what's going on, right? So can you, tell me about, my first question would be like the cultural dance, right? And the inspiration behind the style, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll see from there. Let's go. So,
Well, what you saw on the screen, that was my homeboy Tona. Dona's been doing this for years and years, and you can actually see the collection of those are actual real feathers. He was telling me how much he's got invested on it. It's crazy. He's got so much money invested on it, but that's not the important part. The important part was what was actually happening, and basically what Dona does when he comes and collaborates with us is more beyond a performance. What he does is more of a cleansing of energy, right? Every time he comes to our space, that's sort of like the number one condition that he puts on. It's like, hey, this is not about me performing. This is actually like something, higher than that. And so what you saw there was sort of like a micro version of what cleansing energy for a space looks like.
So it's like a cleansing, like, dance ritual.
You kind of like, he's blessing kind of like the space, the energy, right? And so with that one, as you can see on the jersey, we added an eagle warrior, right? Yeah. And so the eagle warrior was a huge representation in the Aztec culture, right? They were like one of the key warriors. And so for us, specifically in this jersey, it was like, and the way that we show up for the World Cup and for soccer and for football and just for our culture, we show up with this strength. And so we wanted to, with Dona doing this, generationally, his dad does it, his grandfather did it. And so, like, this is something that culturally he does. We wanted to bring kind of that energy into this jersey and bring it into what we're doing. We're coming with warrior energy, right? Whether we win or lose, we're celebrating culture, we're celebrating our indigenous roots, and we're celebrating our warrior spirit, right? And so it was just a beautiful collaboration with Dona, right? And the cultural significance behind the dance and the danzas, right? Like it's a blessing, and I wish he was here because he'd be able to tell you a lot more. Yeah. And so, when we do things like that, it's dope to collaborate with people who are, like super, like they don't just, it's like my brother said, it's not a dance. This is their life, right? This is the cultural representation, and I'm sure they'll be able to, tell you like what it means and everything, right? For us, it was like, how can we express that warrior energy? So yeah.
My next question was going to be, how did it tie into the jersey? But I felt that now I understand the eagle a lot more, right? Yeah. And also, this is a platform for everybody. So you did kind of create an idea right there, and I think we should do it. We should bring Donda in here, and you guys ask him all the questions you want to know, because people need to know, right?
100%.
Like we said, more education, right?
Yeah.
We all have so much culture to bring, right? And not enough people talking about the culture or platforming the culture, right?
Right.
Because that's amazing. There's probably a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, right?
Yeah.
Great dance, right? Because I went to a block party about a week ago in Rainier Beach, right? And the Tongans had the fire dancers out there, right? And I inquired all about that as well, right?
Yeah.
The different spiritual principles, right?
Yeah.
But this is the beauty of our just culture, right? And sharing culture. People need to know. And then I could look at a jersey like that and understand the strength, the power, and the healing powers behind just putting it on, the spiritual aspect of it. Right?
No, it's true, and it's beautiful because when you sit, when I sit with him and I was sitting with him and, I wish I could communicate as good as he does, right? But, you just feel like you're learning, right? Like you're learning. He's just telling me, the rituals that he did with his dad. And every move and every dance does have a significance. I wish I could tell you more, but honestly, I feel a little bit less educated about that. To us, it was more like, the representation behind it. But it's beautiful to sit with people that, that practice it every day.
Yeah.
But let's bring them to the studio.
Definitely
bring them to the studio, man. I promise you, as a black man, I'm learning more stuff about my culture every day, right? And it's because the times we're in, like, you come here, they don't want to tell you about who you are and the strength that you embody just within your blood and in your veins and your heart and soul, right?
Yeah.
They rather teach you how you've been oppressed, right?
Right.
So, at any of our age brackets, we have to really go and search for that knowledge.
100%, and part of why we brought in such an indigenous component to the jersey is really more of the aspect of connecting with our roots, right? Because even in the Mexican culture, right, like we get taught of, you know, to try to tame it down or hide it, right? Like you come into the U.S. and you got to learn English, right? So it's always about, you know, I think in you know, the last generation, our culture was trying to get hidden, right, and oppressed. And so, you know, lately, you know, and I feel like this new generation, you know, it's about reconnecting back with our roots, connecting back with our culture, being proud of where we are, who we are, where we're from, our cultural roots, right? Especially in a time where it's so important to know, right, and to understand where we're from. So, you know, when we collaborate with people like that, you know, it's a learning.
Yeah.
It's reconnecting with the roots, man. So it's beautiful, right? And so I wanted to bring that energy into the jersey. I wanted to bring it into the design and do it in a contemporary way, right? Because that's our experience as well. So, yeah.
Here.
Yeah. And that's heat. Well, let's see. We're going to segue into this cut and sew thing, but at the moment, we have a video that we can play. And then we're going to come back from that video, and we're going to get all into that, too. All right?
On.
All right, so when we come back from
come fly with me. Go to the store, you pick and take a ride with me, baby. I'm such a sight to see. Stacking up on my paper, moving with prestige, yeah. Stay, hey, custom made. Watch you walk every day. Stay, hey, custom made. Watch you walk every day. Ha, easy.
that was the whole vibe. Can't wait to put my hands up the easy at the end. Was fine.
You know.
So, all right, man. Let's see. I don't know how I do this. All right, your cut and sew business has really taken off over the last 6 months. What's changed, and what have you learned?
I mean, you know, as a brand, as a designer, you have to continue elevating the craftsmanship, right? Yeah. One of the major things that helped us elevate that, we received a grant from the City of Economic Shoot.
The city of you guys.
The OED.
There you go.
Yeah. So we got blessed with a tenant improvement grant by the city, and that allowed us to invest in sewing equipment. So we were able to kind of expand our sewing element of our brand. Yeah. And that has helped us elevate our cut and sew, right? So now when you walk into our space, when you walk into our shop, you actually see our workshop. You see the retail part of it in the first half of the shop, and then you see our workshop sewing station in the back. And so typically if you walk there on a random day, you'll catch us, designing, sewing, steaming, sometimes my shop gets super dirty. Yeah. Because it's a workshop. So it's beautiful that the city allows artists and entrepreneurs to support us in that way, because we have been able to elevate that skill and that aspect of our brand. And so now we've added a new element to mediums where, it's commissioned and custom made. And so I used to just do it for my runways, and just kind of design like dope pieces for runways. Now it's a full service where if you want to get a commission piece, if you want to get something dope that, with our style, you can come in, we take your measurements, and we'll cook up a dope merch, in a dope piece for you, some custom pants, custom jacket. And so not only does that allow us to expand our business, it allows me to expand my design. People come to me with some crazy ideas, and I've executed all of them, and but it also allows me to just stay creative, right? And just cook new ideas, cook new pieces, really dial in the creation of a garment, and what it really takes to build a garment from scratch, right? A lot of people, you know, I feel like undermine like the art of clothing. A lot of it is because of fast fashion, right? When you see a T-shirt, you think it's worth $30 just because that's the culture that we've been engraved with fashion and clothing. And so when you really get the science behind actually making a garment and how long it actually takes and the detail to actually perfect like a nice, well put together garment, you start appreciating it more, and you start really realizing how it's a lost art, but it's also just a beautiful craft that allows me and allows others to express when I make it, but also when I wear it and when you wear it, right? So yeah, man, it's a dope experience.
What would you say is the most challenging piece that in the last 6 months?
Like I said, people have been bringing me crazy designs,
There
right?
has to be one.
And obviously with AI now, right, being a tool, people bring me some crazy AI designs, and so you know, the hardest thing for me is being able to interpret a design and be like, okay, how do I actually make this a functional garment, and how do I turn this into like an actual piece? And a lot of it, right, is I go through this phase of design where like it's really fun when I started, but then when I'm in the middle of it and it's all the details, man, it's I'm like, damn, I kind of wish I'm like, I want to start a new project, because it's like all the little details of finishing a garment, putting a button, doing all the top stitching, etc. But it's fun, man. It's a fun process, and I think it's elevated the craftsmanship. It allows me to create garments faster, right? It allows me to create new styles a lot faster. I've been sewing now for like 2 years. And so it really allows the brand to grow a lot more, because, I was blessed to go back to Mexico, to the homeland and to where we're from Puebla and Oaxaca. And so I went and visited some like artisanal communities, and I went and bought fabrics and materials from indigenous like fabric makers over there. And so now I'm able to rework them and restyle them and do something super dope and cultural, but obviously give it my style and a streetwear look. And that's been getting a lot of love that I'm able, and it's something that I'm passionate about too, right? Is how do I bring my design back to where I'm from, right? And so my goal is to be able to get textiles from Mexico, and even my manufacturing. How do we establish the manufacturing in Mexico? How do I make everything in Mexico, right? I want everything Mexican made, obviously me making the garments, but just the fabrics, the textiles, just super Mexican rooted. And so it's been dope. It's dope working with indigenous fabrics, learning from them too. When I went over there, they taught me so much game about a specific fabric. And so it's cool bringing it back and being able to work it, being able to analyze it, study it, and appreciate it. Right, and I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't actually sewing it and making the garment itself. So,
absolutely, Mr. Director.
Big O's got a question.
I'm gonna speak up here or pick up one of these mics, right?
Come on.
But there was a time where everybody felt, and it still is, people can appreciate us converge. But we had to come back and remind people that black media matters.
Right.
Of course, we're not anti-nobody, we're just pro-black. But we had to remind people of that, right? And as you see in our program, I kind of feel like mediums came out, and it was like, mediums is for everybody, but something happened. Because something happened because you guys took it, just like you see Black Lives Matter, period. You guys took it to Mexico.
Right.
What happened?
I mean, it's thank you for asking that.
Great question.
because it's true, right? Like mediums was for everybody, and mediums was broad. It was art. Right, so art was my concept.
Well, medium still is,
and it still is. Obviously, mediums and the clothes that we create is for everybody. But obviously, we're hyper focused on Mexico and our Mexican roots and our Mexican culture. To me, it was not a cultural change, but it was a life changing experience that we weren't able to go back to Mexico for so long. We immigrated here when we were young, and it wasn't until a couple years ago, 4 years ago now, that we were actually able to go back to Mexico. I'm not going to go into the details, but you know why. So we're now blessed to be able to go back to Mexico. And so for me, that was a life-changing experience, being able to go back home, being able to go back to the neighborhood that we grew up with as kids, being able to go and see my grandma for the first time after 25 years, and being able to actually go and experience, you know, Mexico and Puebla as an adult, you know, and being able to actually soak it in and just really soak in that experience of like, wow, like I'm actually back home where I grew up, you know, and to me, I feel like that was life-changing. And, you know, like I said, it wasn't to be like, okay, now it's mediums is just for Mexicans only. It was more like an appreciation of like, wow, this is beautiful. I need to embrace it more, you know, and I need to bring it back to where I'm at, right? Because Seattle's home, right? And so there was a lot of confusion as well around that time. You know, who owns mediums? You know, we were coming out fresh in Seattle. And so like, we were like, who owns mediums? What are they about? Are they black owned? You know, are they like, who are they? And so to me, it was really important to be like, let them know exactly who we are, where we came from, and what we about, right? And so, you know, I think that shift happened and really obviously started hyper-focusing more in terms of like, this is who we are, this is our roots, right? It's not this is who it's for, but it's more like this is just what we, like where we come from. And so,
well, I guess to put it in one word to answer your question, it's a self-discovery. You know, rediscovery. That's, you know, we're giving you the insight into the artist, right? Here being Raj and myself, and you know, we're giving you a window into our own life and what we're going through. So, what you're seeing and what you've been seeing in the past, you know, 10 years is a bit of a self-rediscovery process that we're going through.
And it's just to kind of, you know, and it's not like mediums wasn't Mexican, right? As you saw, you know, we used to take my mom to the booth and sell, right? And so like we were cooking up the tacos right there on our booth. So we've always had our Mexican roots and our Mexican culture in there. But in the design, the first half of mediums, the first half life of mediums, to me was obviously about my discovery as an artist, as art, as a creative. So it was very creative focused, artist focused, and very Pacific Northwest, Seattle focused, because obviously that was my experience, right? And so after I came back from Mexico and after just having that kind of rediscover, it was like, well, you know, I think I'm like not touching too much on this aspect of my life that I live literally every day. So, you know, I think when we did that, I think it put such a new name to our brand. I think it elevated our brand, you know, and we started hyper focusing on like, okay, well, this is something that we actually don't see in Seattle a lot, right? We don't see a lot of Mexican spaces. We don't see a lot of brown faces in the creative space, in Seattle spaces, in the art, even in art spaces, right? And so to me, it was really important focusing and hyper highlighting that, you know, and so now what you see is, you know, we love to have our shop be a space where it's like, oh, brown culture exists here in Seattle, right? You see our lowrider bike in the front, you see the Virgin Mary in the front, you see our Mexican flag, we have events like Brown Voices, right? We have our fashion shows where it's very Mexican focused because it was like, we need to see the spaces more, right? And the fact that it took me to go to Seattle or to go back to Mexico to see it, I was like, damn, like I'm not experiencing it in Seattle more. We need to be that change, right? So
and I think just from my personal experience, I know that our city isn't exactly created for the black and brown, right? Or even our nation, right? And a lot of times, as I think we were talking about it a little earlier, we grow up and we don't have the opportunity to stay educated on our culture, or we live in a culture that's kind of like split between here and there, right? But as you get older and you go through the self-discovery, right, and you get to go see things or read things or understand things, right, the urge, desire inside of yourself wants to express who you are, right? Especially as artists, right? And, you know, professionally, if you're doing business, it's still an art, right? If you're making videos, it's art. If you're designing clothes, it's an art, right? You know what I'm saying? But you grow, right? And you grow into yourself. So you want to express yourself more, right? I think it's dope And I want to see a lot more of it, right?
Yeah.
Of you guys platforming Mexican culture, right? You know, and not allowing people to co-op it, right? You know, to cosplay it, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can see something and say, oh my God, I like those colors, right?
Right.
And they could take it and they run around with it. And most of it's because they don't understand and nobody's teaching them what that ego means.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But for you to know what that ego means, you have to go see it for yourself, right?
100%.
And touch the garment, right? So it's filthy. Please continue doing this, right? And please continue. Don't let nobody tell you not to platform who you are, right? And shine it big, because guess what? The bigger you guys grow and the more you guys incorporate your culture into what you're doing, right? This is the more I get to learn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The more I get to understand your culture and appreciate it, right? You know? Please keep going, right?
Thank
now
you.
let's come back to the cut and sew.
And the culture is so important, you know, it's so important. And so,
It's
you know,
so important. The culture is
and
important.
It's such a huge part of our brand, you know. And just last point on that, I feel like the question you asked too, like what was earlier, like what was one of the moments that you knew you were doing some, or the first question, right? Like that was one of them. It was when we kind of made that switch and we were like, okay, we need to focus more on our Mexican roots. When we started doing that, you know, we did it because it was really something that I was missing. And so it was reinforcing, hearing it back from other people that they were like, wow, like I was missing it too, and you guys are making the space for it, and now I get to experience it, right? And so to me, it was super reinforcing, hearing it from people that it wasn't just us that was missing our culture, it was Seattle that was missing it. And so it's beautiful now to see it, to grow from it, and people, you know, to this day, they're like, your fashion shows are, you know, is one of my favorite fashion shows because I get to connect back with my roots. Right? Yeah. And so they're experiencing it as much as I'm experiencing it, because I'm making it so I can experience my culture here, right? And so it's just dope, man, and it's reassuring, and you know, and with the cut and sew now, and that's why I go back with the cut and sew, and I'm very intentional too now with the textiles that I use, right? Because now I'm like, I think my design could be like a cool graphic, and you know, something kind of like generic, and right, and I can just stamp the Virgin Mary, or I can just stamp like an eagle. But to me, I like to, you know, I like to kind of have more meaning into my design. And so obviously with the graphics they would create, but also with the textiles that I use now, right? And so so it's beautiful kind of bringing now back the culture with my cut and sew, because now I'm kind of really studying textiles from Mexico, and just textiles that have culture, and reusing them and reimagining them in my way, if that makes sense.
It makes all the sense, and that's dope. We are coming close on time. Right?
Come on.
So we're going to go to a break, but before we go to the break, Cesar, can you give the people a quick ad about how to come and get custom pieces created at Mediums?
Ooh.
Come on, you got the whole look.
That's a whole 30-minute consultation there. No, I'm kidding. I mean, just pull up. I mean, you know, we have the store in Capitol Hill. It's as easy as coming up, and probably the best way and the most effective way is if you already have an idea, a sketch, a drawing, maybe even some fabric that you'd like to, you know, make some clothes, and bring that. Come as prepared as you can, and we're typically there 7 days a week, anytime after 12, from 12 to 8. So if you got an idea that you want to bring to life, that you haven't found a way to, you know, put together, you're more than welcome to come on. We can have a quick little 30-minute consultation and get creative with it. There's some stuff that we might not be able to do. There's some stuff that we could probably reimagine and even make it better. So I always encourage people to just come in freestyle, because you just never know, right?
That's fire. That's fire. So make sure you go get your custom designs down at Mediums Collective. And with that, we're going to break, and we're going to come back with a quick round of questions and get out of here.
Come on.
All right.
My name's Deontay Damper, and I want to talk to you about something real. mental
Oh, that
health,
was a great question.
substance
Thank
use,
you.
alcohol use,
Yeah, that was a good
things many
question.
of us often carry in this
Yeah,
community,
yeah.
often in silence. What a lot of people don't know is this: crisis care services in King County are free, and they're available 24/7 for every single one of us. You can call 988 at any time and reach out to trained, compassionate counselors right here in this very region. And we're talking about people who listen and stay with you through the moment to figure out what you need. Now, if you want someone to come to you, they'll send their mobile crisis teams anywhere in King County. These mental health professionals and people with lived experience, not law enforcement, from DESC, YMCA, and the Sound, will show up and support you. And now there's another option. You can walk into one of King County's crisis care centers anytime for urgent mental health and substance use support. Just like you walk into urgent care for a broken arm, but this time it's for your mind and your recovery. No insurance, no appointments, just walk in. The first center is actually open right now in Kirkland, and people are already coming through those doors every day. And more centers are on the way, actually in the comings of years, including Seattle on First Hill, in South King County, on the east side, and one specifically just for our youth. We all know someone who struggles. I have. Maybe you have. Or someone you love. Asking for help can often feel hard, but you're not alone. You have someone to call. Someone who can show up, and now a safe place to go. These services are free, and they're here because communities demanded better. They voted to make it real. The doors are open. Walk in when you need to.
Welcome back to All My Friends Are Dope. We are sitting here with Cesar and Roger, the Mediums Collective. Man, thank you guys, man, just for being
Happy to
here.
be here.
Thanks for the vibes, thank you for the vibes and the good questions.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you, Big O, for directing. So I'm about to throw out a couple speed questions at you guys. All right?
Run it.
First one. Who wants the first question?
I'll take it.
Take it.
All right.
Take it away.
Let's see. You didn't just build a clothing brand, you built a creative space. Why was it important to create a place where people can make things and not just buy things?
Why was it important? Well, this is the fire chat, so I'm going to try to keep it, super short.
Speed questions.
Oh, you got a good question. You got a good answer, but
Yeah, that was a great question. I felt like Roger spoke a little bit about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, again, just to go back on doubling down on our roots. It was a space that was needed in Seattle, a space that our customers, our clients, our friends were telling us that was needed in Seattle. So we wanted to make it a little bit more impactful than just come swipe your card, walk away with a piece of clothing, right? It was an experience. You come in here, you're talking to the owners, you're talking to family members, right? We have conversations. So from the jump, what I wanted when we started the store is I wanted Mediums to be an experience. You're coming in here and experience family. You're coming in here, experience the fashion, and then you walk out with a good fit. That's gonna walk out with you, and you're gonna have your own experience with the fit outside of Medium. So
it's fire, right? Because that's what's gonna get clicked. All right, let's see. You've grown from making clothes to building the ecosystem. Was that always the vision, or did the community shape what Mediums became?
That's always the vision, man. It's crazy because I actually I have a history of event planning. I come from event planning. I used to plan a lot of events in middle school, in high school, a lot of higher education in high school. And so I feel like event planning and community was always rooted within us. And I did it in college. College was more parties, right?
Yeah.
And so community has always been a huge part of who we are.
Yeah.
Originally, Mediums, before it was a clothing brand, the whole concept was like, maybe we can create like a multi-cultural or multi-creative space, right? Where we have like a studio, art. And so like it went more towards the clothing brand. But now that we have the clothing brand established, you can see that we're actually now building a more creative ecosystem. So to me, it's always been rooted from the jump, and you see it on the name, Mediums.
Yeah.
Right, art, creatives, and so it's something that's always been rooted, and is something that worked for us, and it elevated us as a brand, and it's cool to see other now up and coming brands kind of using the same infrastructure and blueprint because it worked for us. And, you know, I think communities is important. And, you know, we learned that was actually super big for clothing, right?
Yeah.
It's something I didn't know. It's something that it was just a part of us. Like, I just like hanging out. You know, I like bringing people together. And so it's dope how they both go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's filthy.
Yeah.
You guys killed that. All right, so question for both of y'all.
Bring it on.
What's next for Mediums Collective?
Sheesh.
Well, why don't you talk about what's really like in the next few months, few weeks, and then maybe.
Well, let me give you the plugs, right? So we got a lot of exciting things. Obviously,
we got plugs.
Go
get
cop
you right
the
into your
pre-jersey,
camera.
right? Like this jersey's coming when we win the World Cup, so you're gonna have it because Mexico's taking the cup. So the pre-jersey, go cop it. We got Fremont Fridays. If you didn't know, now you know. Fremont Fridays is a huge platform that we helped Marshall develop, where a lot of artists, local art is being featured. And so we have our huge annual Mediums Collective runway show at Fremont Fridays, August 7th. This is the night where we bring our Mexican culture and our roots to Fremont, you know, a very white dominant space. And so be in the lookout for that, because that's probably I do 2 major fashion shows, and that's going to be the summer one, where I'm going to go crazy with the designs, and we're going to just bring culture in there. So August 7th, and then the next one is at Bumbershoot. We're partnering up with them to do an activation with them. We're not doing the runway this year at Bumbershoot at the Fashion District, but that was a huge platform that opened up a lot of doors for us. So we're partnering up again with Bumbershoot to bring like a cultural activation. You know, and so be in the lookout for that. Look out for our booth, and then we're just dropping a bunch of merch, right? I'm bringing my crochet back. I'm bringing it in some hot new colors, and a bunch of one-on-ones and commission pieces. So, you know, if you want to experience mediums, definitely tap into those, because those are probably our major ones. Yeah.
Fire. Let's see. If someone watches this episode a year from now, what do you hope Mediums Collective is known for?
I mean, there's many things. There's a lot of things that represent us, but definitely the fashion, for sure. I want them to, you know, a lot of people call us, you know, pioneers in this space, right? I mean, you know, Seattle's known for a bit of that grungy look, right? We gravitate towards the vintage look, right? But there's something about, you know, wearing a statement piece and walking out and you know, not to sound super superficial, but I mean, let's just be real. I mean, the fashion is a lot about the physical world. So I want us to be remembered a year from now for, you know, trying new things, whether it's the fit, the fabrics, the cuts, the colors, and really being remembered for the fashion, because that's what we go to work for. Yeah. You know, we do all these things for that. So that's my ultimate you know, wish that we're remembered for the work that we're putting in the hours for.
Lit. All right, World Cup predictions.
Yeah. You got us on the hot seat, huh? Okay.
Wait, there's a specific question. I'm new to soccer as of this year, right? You know, or football. I'm also new to baseball, right? This year.
Hey, Manners killed it last season. I don't know baseball, but I did hop on the wave, you know.
Yeah, look, still heads, right? But was it Mexico and Dublin?
And England.
All right.
It's going to be a hell of a game. Sunday, you know, like, La Raza is going to come out, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mexicans are going to be out. We're going to take the World Cup, right? I think it's going to be – it's a hard game, but we have the home team advantage, right? We're going to play in the Azteca, you know, and so that's like an iconic spot. So we got the home team advantage. And Mexico's been playing, you know, like we just broke a record, a 40-year record of getting it past the 32s, right? Which Mexico typically gets knocked out. And so, you know, I think, you know, the spirits are strong, the team is strong. England is a good team, but I think we're gonna take it, man. And we have the Eagle Warriors with us, you know. So we're gonna bring that energy. We're gonna take it home.
3-0, 3-0, baby. That's why 3-0. And I'm a big fan of English football, but 3-0.
3-0.
That's it. Yep. We're still going to keep that clean sheet. I don't know if you guys know, but we haven't gotten a single goal scored on us yet. So for the last 4 games, nobody hasn't been able to score to Mexico. So my prediction is that we're going to keep it the same.
Oh, man. Hey, man, I'm here with you guys for that because I have no dog in the fight.
Hey, look, and if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you're new to football, if you're new to soccer, right, this is about, you know, it's not about football, it's not about soccer, it's about pride, right? Like, we're Mexican, we're here, we're breaking records, you know, we're showing up strong for our culture and our roots. And so to us, this is what it stands for. It's our pride, and it's our people, and the fact that the world is trying to take us down, man, we still stand strong, and we break records, and we're here to take it, right? And even if we lose, we win. So, you know, arriba Mexico, cabrones.
Here.
Let's see. All right, I guess we are here. We're at the end.
Come
so
on.
I have to let you guys do one more plug, right? Because one thing, we're going to drive people to you.
Please.
All right, so whoever wants to take it, look into, actually, who wants to take this to tell where people can meet you? You'll do it?
Yeah.
All right, look right into your camera right here and tell people how to connect and collab and get with Mediums Collective.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate the platform. I already know, you know, people watching this is going to be impactful. But beyond this, we also have our store up in Capitol Hill, 705 East Spike Street, up in Capitol Hill, voice on East Spike Street. We're open 7 days a week. And also on social media, as you guys have been experiencing a little too much from us, but, you know, we're just out working. We have Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, wherever you hang out, you know, we're out there creating content. And then also events. Roger mentioned Fremont Fridays on the blog. We're going to try to pop out there. Pioneer Square, Capitol Hill, you know, we try to be at least all the major ones. So, you know, wherever you hang out, again, we'll probably be there.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for stopping by. All My Friends Are Dope. Man, thank you for stopping by the Black Media Matters studio. And most importantly, thank you for showcasing your culture through your mediums, right? Which is fashion, culture, our community, and everything that you guys do, because it is a space that needed to be filled in Seattle. I'm from Seattle as well. And if I wanted to experience Mexican or Latin culture, I used to have to go to a certain area. I used to have to go to like South Park, right? And, you know, it's small, right? You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I think it's much needed, and it needs to be seen, and it needs to stay a staple. So please keep growing.
Thank you.
And please keep staying amazing, right?
Please keep inviting us.
Oh, I absolutely will. Believe me, we got our guy coming. We're going to put that together.
That's
There
it.
you go. There you go.
You know.
Thank you, guys.
Man, thank you.
Appreciate
Well, that's
it,
another episode of All My Friends Are Dope. It's Friday. If you guys caught all of this, please stay safe, drive safely, support Black media, support brown media, support all of us, man. What Tupac said, you guys remember that? Did he say too much brown and too much black equals forever? Yep. There we go.
Brown unity.
It's all math.
Man, on that note, we are out.